My name is Shaban. I was born in 1953 with a disability that has meant that I've had to use a wheelchair for the rest of my life. In 1956, I went to a children's hospital, and there I stayed for 6 years until 1962. Then, at the age of 9, I went to a children's home and school for disabled kids. It was called Pennhurst, and it's in Chipping Norton. A friend of mine, Tina, who's also disabled, suggested to me in 1995 that we make a documentary about haunted institutions for disabled people, which I called Another World. It featured 5 different institutions, all with stories of ghosts and the supernatural. This film just deals with one of them, my school, Pennhurst.
Pennhurst has been a national children's home for over 90 years, but the big house is much older. Chipping Norton, the old market town in which Pennhurst is situated, goes back to medieval times and is full of folklore and ghost stories. In fact, it was known as Black Chipping Norton because it was the regular haunt of highwaymen, and prior to that, beneath the streets were secret tunnels leading from the local monastery to the nunnery, whereby monks and nuns enjoyed scandalous liaisons. And so today there are many tales of ghostly monks, nuns and priests to thrill tourists and locals alike. For example, that Norman church behind me is said to be haunted by the ghost of a priest who hung himself in the tower. And in the skies above me there have also been spectacular UFO sightings. For example, on the 26th of July in 1610 at 9:30 in the evening, the Chipping Norton townspeople witnessed for 1.5 hours an astonishing display of huge flaming swords and massive spears twirling around in clusters as if in battle array. Hi, is that Jazz? Oh, hello, it's Tina. Yeah, you went to the National Children's Home at Chipping Norton, didn't you? Was it Pennhurst? Right, well, I'm investigating some ghost stories, and I wonder if you've got any.
I've never seen it. I've never seen the Grey Lady, but I've obviously, as kids, we had a lot of stories about the Grey Lady and a lot of dares about the Grey Lady who lived on the top floor of the big house.
This overlooks the school, right? Yeah, this was one of our bedrooms. I've got a feeling I might slept in one of these rooms. Either this one or the one next door.
Oh, yeah? Was this your view?
Yeah, although obviously I could never see out the window.
But there weren't so many buildings here then, are there?
No. Oh, well, no, you didn't have the H block down there, which is the new children's unit, and you didn't have the swimming pool. Yeah.
The Grey Lady used to hang out, and she was... I've got a feeling that as you come up the stairs, you know, it's where they've changed the levels on the floor.
Oh, right.
So she's walking, apparently, on the lower level, as it were.
you know, in her
Yeah.
spirit world.
Yes.
Yeah, so what we see is just her from the knees upwards,
Right,
kind
yeah.
of gliding along the
Chopped
floor.
off of it, yeah.
Yeah, I never saw her. She was a ghost that,
Do you know anyone who did?
no, I don't know
No.
anybody who ever saw her. I just
Right.
know that she was, the grey lady lived on the top floor, and
I wonder where the idea of the grey lady comes from, because we had a grey lady at my school.
I think every school has a grey
Yeah.
lady, to be honest. And
Yeah.
I think that, you know, it's a story that kids invent in many ways, to be honest. I mean, it was real to us at the time, but I'm sure, you know, it was invented, you know, years before.
But
I
the
heard it.
syndrome of the grey lady, why the grey lady? Maybe it's
Grey is such an
ghost,
inanimate colour, isn't it?
Yeah.
And
Running back, love little white dove. Teen angel, can you hear me? I'm gonna stick like glue, stick because I'm stuck on you. Here he comes, let's get these clouds. Everybody, somebody's fool. Since you gotta go, oh, you better go now. There's a man in the funny papers we all know. It's now or never.
answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind. The answer is blowing in the wind.
So darling, say the last dance for me. Georgia, Georgia. Hey. Just a little bit longer. Are you lonesome tonight?
Daddy, will you love me tomorrow?
Honey, if I your pretty looking people, if I can tell you people we were the devil's children. You saw me standing alone.
Little runaway, run, 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 run away.
The worst person I know. I'm a traveling man, made a lot of stops all over the world. I'm running scared. Moody River, more deadly than the vainest night. 'Cause I'm not made of wood, and I don't have a wooden heart. Michael rowed the boat ashore. Hallelujah. Take good care of my baby.
Hit the road, Jack. Don't you come back no more, no more, no more, no more.
Listen, people, what I'm telling you, I keep away from a runaround Sue.
Kind of broad at the shoulder and narrow at the hip, and everybody knew you didn't give no lip to Big John.
Please, Mr. Postman, look and see. Is there a letter for me?
In the jungle, the mighty jungle, the lion sleeps tonight. Oh, baby, let's do that. Like this, peppermint twist. Doop, doop, cowbell, doop, 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 cowbell.
Don't break the heart that loves you.
Johnny Angel, how I love him. He's got something that I can't resist.
Come on and be my little good luck charm.
Soldier boy, oh my little soldier
I can't stop loving you. Roses are red, my love. Violets are blue.
If you go, then I'll be blue. 'Cause breaking up is hard to do. Everybody's doing sweet little Sherry, baby, Sherry.
He did the monster mash.
The monster mash. Any good big girls don't cry.
Go away, little girl. Walk right in, sit right down. Hey, hey, brother, I wanna marry you.
Walk like a man, talk like a man.
Our day will come.
He's so fine. Doo-lang, doo-lang, doo-lang. Wish she were mine. Doo-lang, doo-lang. I party and I cry if I want to. They say they never roll the streets of 'cause there's always something going. Surf City, here we go. Let's go, let's go. Let's go. Everybody see ya. Hey la, my birthday's back. See it's coming, better cut out on the double.
She wore blue velvet.
Dominique et Nick s'en allaient tout simplement. Routier, pauvre et chantant.
Everybody tells me so.
Hello, darling. This is Louis, darling.
Nothing you can say can tear me away from my God.
Love, love me do. You know I love you. Going to the chapel of love.
I don't care what they say, I won't stay in a world without love.
Round, round, get around. I get around, yeah, get around, round, round. I get around, I get around.
Mr. Mayor, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of all at Pennhurst, can I welcome you to our Pennhurst Fete 1995. Awfully sorry about the weather, but thank you very much for turning out anyway. It's good to see so many of you here, and I'm sure that a little bit of rain isn't going to spoil what's always a lovely event. It's my job to introduce our opener for today, and I'm very pleased to welcome Tony Coulter to open our fete today, showing Tony around Pennhurst a few days ago. And I have to say that as well as being a distinguished and an accomplished actor, he is also a very nice person and took a tremendous interest in our work and asked me lots of questions about what we were doing here at Pennhurst for our children, and took a great interest in that. So I'm grateful to him for that and for being with us this afternoon. Tony has a long list of credits to his name. I'm sure you've all seen him in umpteen films and plays. All amongst others, he's been in The Hill and The Press File in the cinema. And on television, the list goes on, but just to mention a few: The Professionals, Doctor Who, Softly Softly, London's Burning, that wonderful drama Silas Marner, which was filmed around here, Lovejoy, The Chief, and of course most recently in EastEnders as Roy Evans. And those of you who are EastEnders fans will know that actually, at present, Roy is on a cruise in the Canaries with Pat, but we managed to airlift him back. Please will you give a very warm Chipping Norton welcome to Tony Coulter.
Hello everybody, I really am delighted to be here. I wouldn't deeply call myself a local, but we have lived in this area now, in Salford, for the last 5 years. I can tell you that the cruise is over, and Pat hasn't thrown me overboard. I'm still there, And for those who watch EastEnders, I can tell you, yes, Frank is coming back. The thing is, nobody quite knows when. And how this will affect me, I don't know. But at the moment, I'm holding my own. As David said, I was here last Wednesday looking around, and I was really so impressed with what I saw. The thing that really excited me is the technology that is becoming increasingly available, making things so much easier. Things that we all take for granted, that's touching a button to turn on a television set or turn on a tape recorder, these things that for many of the children here are such an effort. And the technology that is coming into play now is so encouraging, and this is marvellous, that awful things, like everything else, it all has to be paid for. And that is really why we're here today. We think, well, where is the money going? Here, you know where it is going. And every pound, every penny that you spend, you know, is going to a really worthwhile cause. Now, just before I finish, there's one thing that really impressed me, and it seemed to sum up the ethos of this whole school to me. As I was leaving with David, I looked on the notice board, and there was this great display for comic relief. And I turned to David and I said, great, do you get money from comic relief, do you? And he said, no. This is from us to them. And I thought, how do you mean? He said, well, it is so important that even though so many of the children here are faced with a multitude of problems,
to take me away, ha-ha, they're coming to take me away, ho-ho, hee-hee, ha-ha, to the funny farm.
Hey, Bob! Hey, Bob, they don't work, mate. None of them work. He's kept the one that opened.
Why was it called the Ghost Trail?
Well, some 40 years ago, it was boys and girls on either side of the house who weren't allowed behind the school grounds. And behind the school grounds was, in actual fact, a little wooded area which had a trail through it. And the younger children were always told that there were ghosts there, and therefore it remained the Ghost Trail.
And was that to frighten them out of there?
Basically, yeah. It was to reinforce the fact that we weren't supposed to go there. It didn't stop us, we still go. But we didn't find any ghosts.
I'm telling you now.
need somebody. You don't believe we're on the eve of destruction.
It's open.
It's opened it. It's opened it.
It's open.
No, it ain't. No, it ain't.
Stephen.
Yeah.
How are you?
Not too bad.
I sit and watch as tears go by. Those were the days, my friend, we thought they'd never end.
When the mist surrounds it and the rain is falling and the wind is blowing cold across the moor.
Do you know if Pennhurst was haunted?
I believe it was. And the only story I know is that round the back here, there used to be access to some houses over the wall, just here, behind the school hall here. As I understand it, something used to come from there, through here, well, the direction would be through here and across the playground. But I can't remember whether it was a man or a woman or somebody of religion.
And was that going on when you was pupil here?
I'd heard the story, but I hadn't. We obviously know the story about the ghost trail, but that wasn't real. You know about the ghost trail?
Tell me about the ghost trail.
Well, the ghost trail is, if you get a chance to take a picture of it, around the back of the chalet, as was, there used to be trees. There's still a few trees, but not many left now. There used to be large amount of trees and bushes. Used to stretch right the way from where Grenfell is now, right the way up to the top of here, the back of the school hall. And in the early years, boys weren't allowed to go down there. The girls were. And the girls weren't allowed to go on the playground except to go to school. So boys being boys used to spend most of the time down there. And one of the things they used to do was take broomsticks and white sheets and stuff, so go down to the ghost trail and then get the popular boys to entice the girls to come down and then scare them. Hence it got its name, the ghost trail.
It's interesting that you talked about this apparition, because Mr. Southern, the bloke who's now in charge, has just told me that he senses a ghost in the corridor of the school at a particular point. And presumably what you're talking about goes through there.
Possibly, because it's coming from here.
Is that where the graveyard is?
No, it's to this house just here, to the roof.
Yeah.
There used to be an access here. Do you remember Mr. Sandals, the gardener? He used to come over that way. Right?
Yeah.
There used to be a cleaning lady and her husband. Well, before your time, there used to be an old guy who used to be the caretaker of the school. And he had very, very dark skin. I don't know what his racial origin was, but he had very, very dark skin. And he always used to play Father Christmas at Christmas and wear this mask. And he was a very old man, very rickety, but he was the school caretaker here. And his wife used to be a cleaner. And they used to live in a house just at the end of Distance Lane, along here. And he was, how can I put it? A weird sort of character. So he was a nice enough man, but he was a very solitary man. He didn't really talk to the kids. He was here for yonks, almost part of the furniture. And he was very, he obviously took his orders from Mrs. Compton, as was. She's an apparition in herself, if I remember rightly. There's also the mount was supposed to be haunted, if I remember rightly.
That's where she lived, wasn't it?
That's where she lived, yeah. And as I understand it, this apparition used to come from over the wall where Mr. Samuels was along here, but this obviously wasn't here then, but along here and across the playground.
So before the hall was built?
Yeah, I believe so.
And did you know anyone that ever saw it? Janet?
No.
Alright.
No, I didn't. That wasn't on your phone, your chair was off.
Yeah, John. You do play stuff.
When you're alone and life is making you lonely, you can always go downtown.
George, what was that ghost story you were telling me about? What happened to you as a kid?
Well, I wasn't a kid. I was staying around with my mate, Benny, up in York. And we were in bed, separate beds. And we were talking, and all of a sudden we both noticed and felt, because we both came over all cold, an object up in the corner. And we both sat and watched it, and it kind of floated from one side of the room to the other. And it scared the living daylights out of us, because we'd never actually seen one before. So anyway, after about a minute it just faded away and went away, and we never saw it again.
What colour was it?
It was it's kind of bluey colour. It's just like a glow, a bluey colour, a glow of a woman. It seemed of a face, and I say it just drifted from side to side. It was quite eerie because we both went cold and as if we could feel the presence of someone there.
Was it just the shape of a face? Was it?
It was just the shape of a face.
So there was no body.
No body. It was just a face shape as a glow. There's no other way to describe it. And we both felt, and we both actually saw exactly the same thing. And but it never reoccurred. It was just that one. I don't know what we were talking about, but it just occurred, and it was really eerie. So.
Monday, sometimes it just turns out that way. When a man loves a woman, hot town, summer in the city, sunshine came softly through my window today.
Hey, hurry, love, no, you just have to wait.
I'll be there with a love that will shelter you. 96 years. Take the last train to Pottsville and I'll meet you at the station.
You just keep me hanging on.
Winchester Cathedral.
I'm picking up good vibrations. She's giving me the excitation.
Then I saw her face. Now I'm a believer, kind of a drag. Goodbye, Ruby Tuesday. I see a red door and I want it painted black. Make the bag right side. If you're going to San Francisco, Penny Lane, there is a bar showing photographs. So happy together. Suddenly I just woke up to the happening movie on a Sunday afternoon. Ah, look at all the lovely people.
Come on, baby, lay my fire.
All you need is love. Today, Billy Joe McAllister jumped off the Tallahatchie Bridge. Mama going home, my baby stuck with me a little too sad with love. There's a sense of compliments in the song. So I daydream, believe you say goodbye, and I say hello. You be in the sky, my green tambourine. Sitting on the dock of the bay. And here's to you, Mrs. Robinson. Hello, I love you, won't you tell me your name? People everywhere just wanna be free. Hey Jude, don't let me down.
Never meant to be.
Baby, I heard it through the grapevine. This is the dawning of the age of Aquarius. Get back the way you once
June, can I intimidate you and ask you a story? Ask you about one of your stories of ghosts. Well, hi, I'm Tina anyway.
Yeah, I've met you before.
Yeah. Have you?
Yeah.
So was this a fate or something? Years ago. Don't worry about that silly camera.
Well, it depends on how much I get the royalties.
I've heard rumours that, you know, about a ghost around here. We're looking for them soon, all over the country in children's homes and schools, looking for ghosts and stories from the inmates.
Well, the only one that I can tell you about is the one that I think is upstairs.
Really?
And it's actually in this modern building, but I understand it was a hospital ward or group at one time.
A long time ago is this?
Pardon?
A long time ago is this? Or?
No, going back about 20 years, I suppose, yeah.
Right. And when did you first see or hear something?
We use one of the rooms as a sleeping-in room because we do sleeping-in duties. And when I close the door and the light is off, it's happened about 3 or 4 times. But the last time was about 2.5 months ago, I suppose. And I'm convinced that I was awake. There's no way I was asleep because I was just thinking to myself, I'm awake. This is definitely
can you
happening.
Describe exactly what happened?
I hear sort of footsteps, and it sounds like children's footsteps coming along the floor in the bedroom, and then I'm lying still and I can feel the duvet cover moving. I thought, I'm lying still, why is it moving?
So this was the room where there were 6 children?
Well, the area where there were 6 children at one time.
So maybe it's the result of some tragedy or something.
I don't know, wouldn't know.
Right.
But I come down and said to the staff, I'm sure there's ghosts in that bedroom.
Right, it's the bedroom. Is that your room? Or
it's sleeping in room, so all staff use it, but I think that I'm the only one that I've actually experienced.
No one else has that you know of?
Well, not that I know of.
And have you been here very long?
In this group, in this area sleeping, 2 years. Yeah.
Right. Well, how long have you been at Pennhurst?
21 years.
A long time.
A long time, yeah.
Well,
since Gigi was a little girl.
Yeah, right. Well, thanks for telling us about it. And I hope that you have some good nights.
The other thing that happened on the last time was that I put a pair of earrings down on the bedside cabinet, and when I got up in the morning, I know that they were there. I got up and went to the bathroom because I thought, because I remember taking them out in the night. They were hurting my ears, and I put them on the side, and I saw the 2 of them there in the morning when I got up. And when I come back from the bathroom, one of them had disappeared, and I just looked everywhere.
Minutes later, is it?
Yeah, I just looked everywhere and I couldn't find it. And then I went back up later in the day and I found the earring down the other end of the bedroom. And how it got there is a mystery.
I know, these things do happen, don't they, rather strangely. Yeah.
Mystery.
Right. Does it worry you at all now? Or you got
no, it would never worry me, but I don't really like the experience, so now I keep the door just a little bit ajar with the light on, and then I don't know whether it just happens in the dark. It might be a figment of my imagination, I don't know, but I'm convinced that it's real. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks a lot anyway.
I used to live in the big house when I lived here. I lived on the first floor, and then I moved up about a year or so later right into the attic flat.
It's a beautiful building.
It is, it's a lovely building, Right,
but I believe that you've got some stories about your stay here.
Yeah, a few stories. I mean, when I worked up here in Scott, one evening the clock on the wall that was above the
over here,
the one in the kitchen. It was in the kitchen in Scott.
Yes.
The wall was the clock was positioned on the wall, and underneath was the cabinets with the cutlery in and you know, towels and things. And the clock actually fell off the wall, but it didn't fall down off the wall to the surface below. It actually flew at an angle onto the floor, which was obviously, you know, really spooky at the time. We were all pretty spooked out. But that was one story in here.
In the attic flat. Right. In the attic flat. Were you up on the top floor of the big house?
Yeah, I was right up in the attic.
Did you ever see the grey lady there?
No, I never saw.
The story of the grey lady when we were kids.
Yeah.
So I wondered if you'd actually, because I've never seen it.
No.
Did the top room.
Did you? Right, I probably had your old room then. I was right up the top of the stairs in the room as you went in through the door. There were 2 rooms there, and I was in there next to a bathroom.
Something happened to you though in the attic room, didn't it?
It really was quite odd on occasions when I would be walking up the stairs to go up to my flat after I'd finished work. I'd be going up and I could hear voices, sort of whispering voices, but then when I'd stop and really listen, I wouldn't be able to hear them. So it would be when I was walking up or running up the stairs, I could hear voices, and I always thought, oh, it's me imagining things. But it's funny because David Southard has just said that he has also experienced the same type of thing up there.
But when he stopped to listen, he couldn't hear it anymore.
Yeah.
Is it quite eerie in there anyway?
It is quite eerie. I hated sleeping up there on my own. Sometimes the door, you could hear the door squeaking as though somebody was opening it, but there would not be anybody there, and it's a heavy door.
Yes.
You know, there would a draft couldn't shift it. So I used to sort of hide under the duvet and hope these noises would go away.
Did you ever speak to anyone else about it when you were here?
Yeah, Andrew, who used to also live up there. I think he sort of was a bit spooked out on occasions, especially in his kitchen. The kitchen was at this end. And I think he'd have a story to tell you about that if he was here. Sadly, he's not here. The kitchen. The spooky kitchen. I think it was just really freezing cold in there. It was a really, really cold room. You know, and the sun would be coming in and everything.
How old is that building? Do you know?
I'm not too sure. I reckon it must be at least 200 years old, because the chap who owned the mill built this house.
I understand that you are one of the people who witnessed these UFO sightings here.
I was. It was almost very different to what it is now. We used to have 3 big tables that the kids used to sit around in. It was a dining room then, and we all used to sit in different groups. And I've got a feeling I was sitting here. I know I was looking down towards the bottom end of the common out there, and you know, towards that horizon over there. And there was a lot of us all turned around, and I can't remember who first saw what we saw, but what it was a clear evening. It was dusk, and it was a clear evening, and there was like these several different blobs which looked like, you know, they're all the same size, probably about 5 or 6 that were kind of hovering, all exactly the same size and silhouetted against the sky, and they were just hovering over the common in the distance, and we were just looking at them, and not far away from them looked like a big cloud, but it wasn't a cloud, I don't think, but yeah, it must have been a cloud, but it was silhouetted, so it was black against the sky, and suddenly these objects moved into the cloud, and they didn't come out the other side, and we all sat here waiting for them to come out the other side, and they didn't, and we sat here for hours and hours, well, it seemed like hours and hours, and waiting and they never appeared again. And then later on that evening, it was on the news. I didn't see it, but the staff told us the next day.
It was on the news?
It was on the news that somebody had seen it. Down there, you see, there's a pub called the Cross Hands in an area as you're going down the Worcester Road outside here. Yes. And the sighting had been filmed down there, and what we saw was on the news, and obviously a lot of people had seen it.
So you'd witnessed a major sighting then?
Yeah, definitely.
Made national news. What year was that?
I think I probably would have been about 10 or 11, maybe, yeah, probably about 9 or 10 actually. So that would have been,
Were you frightened?
73. No, you just, no, not at all. Okay, you just saw strange things. Yeah, I mean, I don't suppose I married it in my head that they were UFOs.
Yeah, that's right.
You know, I mean, probably the others did because they were older, but I just know that I saw it, and you know.
So what colour were they?
Black.
Black, yeah.
Well, they look like black because they were against the blue and red and orange sky. So.
A month before Jazz saw her cluster of uncanny flying objects, I also had seen a UFO from this window. It was October the 11th, 1973. I was a guest at the children's home. I was unemployed and homeless at the time. With me was the senior carer of the family unit, Grenfell, Sylvia Chesterman. I pointed the flying object out to Sylvia, and she was amazed. It was a flying silver object, travelling from the top left to the bottom right, and seemed to be heading for a small solitary cloud in the sky. It entered the cloud, and we waited for it to come out the other side. But it didn't. Where had it gone? We have no idea. The next day, Sylvia described the UFO we saw as a flying saucer. Later that evening, on October the 11th, 1973, we saw on the evening television news that UFOs had in fact been seen in the United States, in Europe, and in Britain. It seemed that there was a UFO flap going on.